10 ruthless facts about Genghis Khan that are actually true. A Genghis Khan, a name that still evokes awe, fear, and fascination centuries after his death. Born Temujin in the unforgiving steppes of Mongolia, he rose from a childhood of betrayal and hardship to build the largest contiguous empire in history. But his rise was marked by ruthlessness, strategy, and a vision that reshaped the world. Today, we're uncovering 10 ruthless facts about Genghis Khan that are actually true, and some of them might shock you. Fact 1. A violent childhood. Genghis Khan's childhood was brutal, and it forged the man he would become. Born around 1162, Temujin was the son of Yesugei, a minor tribal leader. When Temujin was only 9, his father was poisoned by a rival clan, leaving the family exposed to enemies. They were abandoned, hunted, and forced to scavenge for survival across the harsh Mongolian steppes. Temujin's mother, Hoelun, became his first teacher in resilience, leadership, and cunning. She protected her children through starvation, harsh winters, and constant threats. Temujin learned early that survival often demanded ruthless decisions, outsmarting rivals, forming alliances, or using violence if necessary. These experiences planted the seeds of his legendary determination, preparing him to rise from a vulnerable boy into a man who would command the world's largest land empire. Fact 2. Master of psychological warfare. Fear was one of Genghis Khan's most powerful weapons. He understood that war wasn't won solely on the battlefield. It was often won in the minds of his enemies. Cities would surrender at the rumor of his approach. Temujin's tactics included sending envoys to offer mercy, while secretly plotting ruthless reprisals against those who resisted. In some cases, he left a handful of survivors alive in destroyed cities to carry tales of Mongol brutality, ensuring that others would surrender without a fight. This psychological approach allowed Genghis to conquer vast territories with far fewer battles, and it made his army seem almost unstoppable. The mere reputation of the Mongols became a tool as powerful as their swords. Fact 3. Brutal punishments. While fear was his weapon, Genghis Khan's punishments were merciless. Any city that resisted Mongol conquest risked total annihilation. One infamous example is the destruction of the Khwarezmian Empire, where tens of thousands were massacred after its leaders insulted him. Entire populations were killed, and cities were leveled to send a clear message. Defiance would not be tolerated. These extreme measures weren't random cruelty. They were calculated acts designed to maintain control and prevent uprisings. The message was clear: resist the Mongols, and you would face absolute destruction. By combining terror with tactical genius, Genghis ensured compliance across a vast, multicultural empire. Fact 4. A genius strategist. Genghis Khan was more than a conqueror. He was a military mastermind. He transformed a relatively small nomadic force into an organized, unstoppable army. His strategies included rapid cavalry attacks, deception, and coordinated multi-pronged assaults that allowed him to defeat far larger armies. Intelligence and communication were crucial. Scouts relayed information, spies gathered enemy plans, and feigned retreats lured enemies into traps. His innovations not only ensured victory, but also minimized Mongol losses, making him one of history's most brilliant tactical minds. For Genghis, warfare was both an art and a science. Fact 5. Legal reformer. Despite his brutality, Genghis Khan valued order. He codified laws under the Yasa, which regulated crime, military conduct, and even trade. Punishments were harsh, but applied equally to everyone, including himself. The Yasa enforced discipline, minimized internal conflicts, and allowed his empire to function smoothly despite its enormous size. Trade flourished, communication improved, and loyalty was rewarded. This legal system shows that Genghis wasn't just a destroyer. He was a leader who understood the importance of rules, governance, and stability in maintaining an empire. Fact 6. Religious tolerance. Genghis Khan was pragmatic when it came to religion. While he demanded loyalty to his rule, he allowed conquered peoples to practice their faith freely. Buddhists, Muslims, Christians, and shamans could all live without interference. This policy wasn't purely benevolent. It prevented rebellions and built goodwill among diverse populations. By respecting local customs and beliefs, Genghis could maintain control while integrating various peoples into his empire, a lesson in how tolerance can be a tool for power. Fact 7. The price of betrayal. Loyalty was everything to Genghis Khan, and betrayal came at a deadly price. Allies who turned against him, even once, were often executed in ways meant to serve as a warning. One famous example involved a trusted general who conspired with enemies. Genghis made sure the punishment was public and memorable. By combining fear and reward, he maintained strict discipline and loyalty within his ranks. Betrayal in his empire was not just dangerous, it was fatal. Fact 8. Merit over birth. Unlike many rulers of his time, Genghis Khan valued merit over lineage. Competent generals and loyal soldiers were promoted based on ability, not family ties. This approach strengthened his army, fostered loyalty, and ensured that the best people held key positions. By empowering talented individuals, he created a dynamic and efficient leadership structure. This meritocratic principle helped maintain cohesion across his vast empire and reinforced the idea that skill and loyalty mattered more than noble blood. Fact 9. The human cost of empire. The expansion of the Mongol Empire came at a staggering human cost. Tens of millions were killed, cities were razed, and entire regions were depopulated. The destruction wasn't just collateral. It was a calculated tactic to suppress resistance. While Genghis built one of history's largest empires, he also left a trail of devastation. His campaigns reshaped entire civilizations, and the consequences of his ambition were felt for generations. The human price of empire was as immense as its territorial reach. Fact 10. Legacy of the Steppes. Despite the bloodshed, Genghis Khan's legacy endures. His empire connected east and west, fostering trade, communication, and cultural exchange. The Silk Road flourished under Mongol rule, and political and economic systems were transformed. Today, his descendants are still found across Asia, and his influence can be traced in the modern borders of many countries. Genghis Khan was more than a conqueror. He was a visionary who reshaped the world. His story reminds us that ambition, strategy, and ruthlessness can leave an indelible mark on history, both terrifying and transformative. Genghis Khan was a man of contradictions, brutal yet brilliant, ruthless yet disciplined. He built an empire that changed the course of history, showing the power and the price of unrelenting ambition. His legacy is impossible to ignore, a reminder of the thin line between fear and respect, destruction and greatness.